Morning guys, Moorhuhn here. Today we have a bit more technical thing to talk about, but I have more or less finished my Stormbolt DPS calculator. It isn't the prettiest yet, but it is fully functional. You can put in all the multipliers, all the stats, all everything you have, and I hope I did not miss anything. You can access this through the link. Make a copy of the calculator and then play around with it. Thing is that there is no save boxes yet, so you can very easily brick some formulas if you write in the wrong areas. So I will have to do some cleanup there, but I do have to go to sleep soon, so I won't do it today. But I did want to showcase the progress, and since it is functionally already, you can just use it. Basically, up here you just can put your stats you have there. Down here I created for the different skills formulas where you can just say I've got so many skill points in this, and then up here it will calculate well, your multiplier, for example, depending on how many points you have allocated, or calculate the cast speed of your tornado and everything. I do have a calculation tab here where, well, everything is calculated to the point where I need it. And we have the blue areas, which is human DPS, and the green areas, which is beer DPS, which, well, are very different. And then we basically, the most important part is we have the human DPS and the beer DPS. Though the human DPS is widely inaccurate yet. Because of, like, for example, it's counting mana to be always full, which just is not the case. The average and max DPS currently only deviates by having either half your tornadoes up or all your tornadoes up. So basically, on your burst DPS, what you can roughly calculate with is your maximum beer DPS when you transform into the beer, going down to the average what's called in a linear path throughout 4 seconds. So basically you start at max DPS right when you transform and go down to average DPS within the next 4 seconds, and then while transforming back and forth with more or less on cooldown, you should be able to keep your average DPS. But max DPS basically is your initial burst and then linearly going down to your average DPS. Though this doesn't factor everything in, like building up armor shred, which happens over 4 seconds, or building up the shred stacks, the debuffs for ladle and stuff like that. So likely your initial DPS will be slightly below your max DPS, and then you will even out to the average DPS over 4 seconds. Basically, that's what this is. Then it calculates everything like your strength and your... Is there... No, it's actually... I thought there was a minus in front of strength, but it was like some dust on my screen. It calculates everything from your attunement into your added damage, your strength into your added damage. While in bear form, it takes the damage you have on your axe or mace and then multiplies it by 2/3 to get the right number, but actually it only multiplies it by 2/3 if you do have the points and Tempest weapon and stuff like that. So I really try to get it as automated as possible, though at some point I do want to have like drop downs for like damage mods and stuff like that, but that's for the future. For now, you currently mostly have to use these here to just put in your values. I didn't have any descriptions here yet because I didn't feel like there was like a good line to do that, and it's not the cleanest yet, as I said, and we will do some cleanup later on and make it a bit more easier to fill out. But like this part down here should be very good already, like putting in your blessings and getting your attributes. Just put in the number of your attribute. Your armor shred chance, this is like if you have 133% armor shred, like I currently do have, due to I'm 116% on my amulet and 17% on my ladle, I end up with 133% armor shred, and this then calculates based on the area level. And the armor shred, the whatever this formula here is, I didn't make this myself, but this was like I needed like 2 hours to get this right with some help and with a lot of headaches, and yeah. But in the end, we've got this right, so armor shred is included as well. I planned on not actually including armor shred because it's so difficult to get right if you are not good with formulas. But in the end, this works out. So yeah, I don't think there's a point of talking more right now. If you have any questions or ideas how to improve this, or just want to help with anything really, just feel free to drop it down in the comments. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and feel free to drop a like if you liked the video and if it was helpful. But generally, this should really clear up how you want to scale your build, because you can also, last thing I say, check how do staves actually compare to axes, because I just realized the flat added damage from axes really isn't that good, which is a thing that I suspected like a long time, which is why I generally don't promote the build with dual wield and axe, because I just don't feel like Tempest Weapon is that great when you do already have like 250 flat damage just from your attributes. So I will later on do some tests on staves versus dual wield and stuff like that, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.